Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Atkins. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. He got 29 yards that time. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan, introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello to big way there with a loss of double-digit yards on that sack.
To throw on 2nd down, Atkins. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Now make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
A leap, and he's got it. He got it. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
I think what we saw there, partner, was a true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practice.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 66 yards.
Well, obviously he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. You look at this defense for the Vikings. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but poor decision there, and it's going to be intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Madison is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Atkins toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Patrick Queen able to record his 5th sack of the season. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And his kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, In 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
It's the former number 4 overall pick, Cleveland Ferrell, that got in there to bring him down. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Howell throwing on third down here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 25 yards that time. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. In motion right, that's Hyatt. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll run with Herbert. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. The Bears at 500 hit 6 and 6. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. This time they'll throw it with Howell. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. And Howell will throw it. Flush to his right. Right back to Pitts again. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Howell down to throw it. Caught on the slant. Touchdown. Quez Watkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from moving out in front in the final minute of the half. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go. Throwing to start the drive. Atkins, the quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Atkins. He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Atkins. Over the middle and complete to Addison. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd down and 6 now. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looks again for T.J. Hawkinson, and he's got him again. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 40. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. A final shot before break. Atkins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we come upon... Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Bears offense set to go to begin the 3rd quarter. This game is... Obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. Now 2nd and 3. They'll give up the middle to Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. The 20. And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
Herbert will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Santos with the extra point. And the lead is up to 8. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. On 1st and 10, Atkins. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Atkins. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground with Cobb. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 23. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. On 1st down, Atkins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now Cobb, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Goes right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Khalil Herbert to return it from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown. So every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the fourth quarter. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And if you're thinking field goal from here, it's 48 yards. I think they'd like to get him a little help now on 3rd down and move it closer. Back to throw. Atkins. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Howell. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Howell, he'll look to throw it. Finding Watkins. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line.
They got the completion. Now, they probably had 2 plays called in the huddle, so they've got to get to the line of scrimmage, get set, and run their 4th down play.
Got to avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long. Here's Howell. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. They'll set up to run the quarterback draw. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And that will keep this a 3-point game. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
Howell to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now. He's back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
Charles, in these lower scoring games, you know it better than anybody. Points are at such a premium, but taking care of the football is king. They play turnover free from whistle to whistle, and they come through with a victory.
Yeah, and that's what won them the game, because even doing it that way, being that clean partner, they weren't able to really run away with this game. So that tells us just how important it was to make sure you played mistake-free football. That led to the victory.
So for the Vikings,